Welcome to The Explainer. If you're in South India, you've probably felt it already, right? A real change in the air. Well, today we're going to break down the massive weather shift that's happening and, most importantly, what it means for you over the next 24 hours. Okay, so let's get right into it. The biggest thing we're seeing is this flip to easterly winds, blowing in from the sea. And this isn't just some random gust of wind. It's a huge sign that the atmosphere is basically hitting a giant reset button. The reasons why are actually pretty cool. So first up, let's talk about the wind itself. This change isn't just happening down here where we are. Nope, it's being directed by these enormous weather patterns way, way up in the atmosphere. It's like the sky is sending out a massive signal that the seasons are about to turn, and in a really big way. To really get what's going on, we've got to talk about these things called upper atmospheric cyclonic circulations. I know it sounds complicated, but just picture them as these giant swirling engines in the sky. And it's these engines that are telling the winds down on the ground where to go. And here's where it gets really interesting. It's not just one thing causing this. We're looking at three different systems all working together. You've got one spinning over the Arabian Sea, another one just starting to get its act together over the Andaman, and a third one that's shifted up towards Andhra. All three of them are creating this powerful pull, just yanking those easterly winds right onto our coast. So what's the big deal with this wind shift? Well, it's the clearest sign you can get that the whole weather game is changing. This is what the experts call monsoon withdrawal, and it's basically the final whistle for one season and the kickoff for a totally new one. And here it is, plain and simple. The winds are changing because the long, long season of the southwest monsoon is finally checking out, and that's making room for the northeast monsoon to come roaring in. We are literally watching the seasons change right before our very eyes. Now, while all the signs are there, we can see it, we can feel it, we're still waiting for the official word. The India Meteorological Department will probably make the formal announcement in the next day or two, giving it their official stamp of approval. Okay, so that's the why. But how does this big atmospheric shift actually translate into rain on the ground? Well, over the next 24 hours, it's going to bring a whole lot of it across the wider South Indian region. And just look at the forecast for the neighboring states. You can see right away it's not the same story everywhere. That new easterly wind is really slamming into Kerala, which is why it's getting the heaviest rain. Meanwhile, Andhra Pradesh is looking at widespread rain, and for Telangana, it's going to be a bit more scattered. Now let's zoom in on Kerala for a second. The Western Ghats, that huge mountain range, those regions are on high alert. So districts like Idukki and Pathanamthitta could see some very heavy downpours. Most other places will get moderate to heavy rain. Really, only the far north up in Kasaragod will get off a bit later. Meanwhile, over in Andhra Pradesh, rain's going to be pretty widespread, especially along the coast and in the south. For Telangana, the action is more focused on the eastern districts, where you can expect some moderate, thundery stuff. Other areas, including parts of Hyderabad, will probably just see lighter hit-or-miss showers. All right, let's bring it home to Tamil Nadu. With these easterly winds now fully active, we are definitely going to see rain across the state. But, and this is a big but, the intensity is going to be really different depending on where you are. Let's start with the areas that need to be the most prepared. There's a handful of districts that are really in the line of fire for some significant, heavy spells of rain over the next 24 hours. So we're talking about 6 districts here. There's a southern cluster, Kanyakumari, Tirunelveli, Tenkasi, and Toothukudi, and then 2 more right on the coast, Cuddalore and Mayiladuthurai. These spots have the highest chance of seeing some properly heavy rain. Okay, now for the next level down. This covers a much, much bigger area where you could expect rain that's still pretty significant, and it could easily jump between moderate and heavy at times. This one really covers a huge part of the state, southern, northern, and western Tamil Nadu, and you'll see a special note there. We're keeping a really close eye on the stretch between Villupuram and Kallakrichi, because a particularly intense burst of rain is definitely possible right there. For a lot of you in the central and western districts, yeah, you'll see rain for sure, but it's expected to be generally less intense, falling more into that light to moderate range. This category includes some big cities, right? Chennai and Coimbatore are in this zone, along with the whole western belt and central spots like Trichy. So definitely expect wet weather, but probably not those really heavy downpours that other places are going to get. And finally, we have the areas that will most likely just get some light showers or maybe a few scattered spells. These are the regions that are kind of on the edge of the main rain bands. These districts, which stretch from the Kaveri Delta all the way up through the northwest, are expected to see the least impact from all this. Just some light passing showers are what's on the cards here. Okay, I know that was a ton of detail. So, after all that, let's just boil it down. What are the three most important things you need to walk away with?
Number 1, the winds have flipped to easterlies. That is the engine driving this entire thing. Number 2, this is the great monsoon transition. The southwest is out, the northeast is in. And number 3, the immediate result is widespread rain across South India for the next 24 hours. Simple as that.
So, now you know the why behind this crazy weather? By understanding what's happening from high up in the atmosphere right down to your own district, you're just that much better prepared for what the skies have in store. Stay safe out there.